this, but I'd like to bring in Socrates Ramirez, who is the general manager of the Hilton Providence. So, my friend.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, buddy.
So I have to say, Socrates and I have known each other a while. We sit on the Providence Tourism Council board, and he is heavily involved in tourism convention business. But I bring up a funny connection. I think you and I have talked about this. So when I first came to Rhode Island, I needed a job as a college kid. It was the Holiday Inn.
Yes.
That was there at that.
Everybody
property.
still knows.
Everybody still knows it's the Holiday Inn. It was the gateway and entranceway to Federal Hill, and that was my first job. That was literally my first job when I came here. I worked there, and I did bellman and concierge, and I did all these other crazy things for that property, and then I went to the Westin afterwards.
That hotel's been there since 1969, so I don't know when you were.
No, it was long after that. It was long after that. Come on over here a little bit. So Socrates has the honor of handling this property, and how long have you been there at the Hilton?
I've been at the Hilton for just under 2 years.
Okay. So the Hilton, when it was named the Hilton, when they went for the rebranding
Yes.
of it, had an extensive renovation.
Yes, it did. A very extensive renovation. In fact, one of the key features that we did in that renovation was we expanded the exterior wall of the guest rooms 4 feet out, so we can add a 4-pipe system, which was something that you don't see properties do very often.
Really? How many rooms are at the Hilton?
274 rooms.
So 274 rooms, and at one point that was one of the largest properties in the city for a while.
That's correct. Yes, it was.
And then you got 274 rooms. How many people are employed at the property?
We have roughly about 120 people working there.
So 120 people, but you were part of a larger hotel group.
Correct, yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that group. Tell me about the Prakashani group.
So we are TPG Hotels and Resorts is one of the Prakashani companies, and based out of headquarters out of Cranston, hotels nationwide, with quite a few hotels actually here in Rhode Island. The Hilton Garden Inn, formerly known as the Wyndham, and other names is also part of our portfolio, as is the Renaissance next to the State House. We also have the Holiday Inn in South Kingston, Comfort Inn in Warwick, which is actually converting to a Fairfield Inn very soon. Actually, should be completed by the end of the year. And then we also have properties down in South County as well.
So, talk about an economic impact. Talk about making an impression in the state of Rhode Island. I lost count of how many properties that was when you just went through that. But their headquarters are here?
Yes.
In the state, in
right
Cranston, right?
Yes,
In
correct,
Cranston.
yes.
So the headquarters are here for the group. They have all those hotels and not just in Providence and spread out. And you're building another one.
Yes, correct. There's currently a development right across the street from the convention center.
Right.
Actually.
So the construction you see, if you're in Providence a lot and you see this block of construction at the old, I can't even remember the name of the building, the
Fogarty building.
Fogarty
Yes.
building that was there that came down recently. It was in the last couple of months that building came
Yes.
down. What's that property they're going to be that's going there?
It's going to be a residence inn. It's going to be an upper mid-scale extended stay hotel.
So he's got the job of running the Hilton, but being part of this larger group and being part of this larger community, if you will, of having this knowledge and having this commitment to Rhode Island as a whole. So a new hotel that's going to come in, that's going to create economic impact and construction,
Correct, yes.
employment jobs, and bringing the tax base to us. What would you say the average occupancy is that you guys are running right now? Just a rough guess.
If I were to guess, probably 75%, give or take.
So 75%, and you are the welcome way to Federal Hill.
Yes, we are.
And everybody knows that I represent Federal
We're
Hill.
on the hill.
So they are on the hill. They are the gateway to Federal Hill. And for a long time, this property stood out as the premier property that was there. And I think, in my opinion, when it became the Hilton, I think it did that again. Is that welcome? It's one of the first things you see when you get off the highway in that area of the city.
Absolutely, and it sticks right out as you're driving by the highway.
Absolutely. And you have meeting space, right? At the
Yes, we
Hilton.
do.
What's the square footage?
Roughly 10,000 square feet.
So 10,000 square feet of meeting space. You got the hotel rooms. Now you've got a restaurant that's at the property as well.
Yes, we have the Big Providence, which was actually featured in the show, and Don Poisson was here. And
He was dressed much better than I was that day.
And I gotta tell you, he has, he's a celebrity now. Ever since
God.
the show. So I did tell him I was gonna have to come in.
Now you two are going to be tied for this.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Funny story. He bought me this tie actually.
Get out of here. So, Dom, I'm going to have to do a picture with Socrates. We're going to post it up just like the one I had of you. But adding the VIG to it, and the VIG was great, and Don was awesome, but adding the VIG to it, there's this faux pas that I want to get rid of, and I'm hoping that today is helping out to understand the importance of the hotel and hospitality business in the state. But you are a friendly hotel for the regular residents that live here. For people to go to the VIG, to refer their friends and family. And again, Socrates just helped me out. I have friends and family staying there next week.
Yes,
Right? So
take good care of them.
Right, absolutely. So, but that's the point, is that I'm making sure that I'm encouraging and letting people know how important the hotel business is. I spoke about at the very beginning of the segment that it's the 5th largest employer in the state. again, I don't think I've been over there and not seen you or the VIG not hiring. I think you're always hiring. It seems
Yeah,
like.
it's a and it's for good reasons too. I mean, we don't have a ton of positions because our we have happy team members. They love working for us. But also the reason why we tend to hire is because people get promoted and people move on in their careers, and it's actually very important for us to continue to promote from within.
Absolutely. So the meeting space, the hotels, you got the restaurant there. From a community perspective, I know that you and other members of the hotel group sit on numerous boards. Pam sits on the Tourism Council board with
Yes,
us,
she
Pam
does,
Baldwin.
yeah.
So involvement in the community from that perspective is really important.
Absolutely.
Do you think people like the Providence Warwick Convention and Visitors Bureau, Discover Newport, those type of things, they're vital to the success of our properties?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we are extremely fortunate to have the folks at the CVB like Martha Sheridan and her team, as well as the Rhode Island Hospitality Association. I mean, they are the huge advocates for the city of Providence, city of Warwick, and actually the state of Rhode Island. I sit on the Education Foundation board for Rhode Island Hospitality as well, which is, we want to make sure that we are educating folks, and it's not only kids, it's, educating adults in dying industries to find a new way in life, and it's very important work that we do. So, we are very, very fortunate to have both those organizations working with us day in, day out.
No, I agree 100%, and I think that this goes back to the whole thing of understanding that economic impact, and you work with the tax dollars as well as I do on these boards and commissions that are out there of how it recirculates back out into the economy.
Absolutely.
And from a reinvestment standpoint, forget that the fact that you have a new hotel that's associated with that's going to be just around the corner, literally from you. Renovation-wise, it seems like there's always a project going on in your hotel.
There's always a project going
Right?
on. I mean, it's you have to stay relevant. Last year Hilton launched the Digital Key Initiative, which is basically you can line bust. You can go check in on your mobile phone, and you can go right to your, from taxi to your door. You can check on your
So
phone.
that's the line bust. You're busting the line.
You
I like
don't
that
even,
term.
You don't have to stop at the front desk. You're basically, you can check in on your phone and you can use your phone as your room key. So we just launched Digital Key. That was a pretty big project. We changed our guest room doors. We also changed the locks in order to enable this feature as well. Obviously, the VIG was a big thing for us.
Right.
We're very proud of that. And we have things upcoming. We're looking at a lobby renovation pretty soon, and going to continue to, like I said, you have to stay relevant. Everybody's either building something or
Right.
refreshing their product.
So from that perspective and talking about it, is that you've got the meeting space that's there. You guys are marketing yourselves as a destination. In addition to what you're doing with the convention for stuff, you're marketing yourselves from local groups that are going there. I can't tell you how many years I can go back and know of local organizations that have booked your property to come in there and do it. I mean, so it's not just us knowing that tourism dollars are coming in from conventions or corporate business and coming in, but it's about the local community supporting the business
Absolutely,
as well.
it's not just about out of state. I mean, how many folks in South County want to come and spend a night in Providence and enjoy Federal Hill, and which you can walk to from our location. I mean, it's drop your car off and go enjoy the night in Providence. So in addition to what you just said too is banquets and catering. A lot of folks, people get married. Quinceañeras is a big thing nowadays.
Right.
And it's about making sure that the community knows that we have a facility that can, cater to or mold to whatever they need.
So you talk about that, and you talk about the hill and the knowledge factor, and you mentioned earlier that so many of your employees stay with the property and they move up. So
Yes.
there's job opportunities for that to continue to happen and longevity in these jobs to be there. From that perspective of employing people, you guys have got a well-trained staff that know not just Providence, but know the rest of the state as well.
Absolutely. We not only spend time training our staff on the brand, but we also connect with the local folks like the CVV. Just did actually a training for concierges and front desk that we sent some team members out to, just to make sure that that they connect our guests with the local area. It's not just about checking you in and checking you out. We want to make sure that you connect with the local area and that that there's places to see, places to dine that are local flavor. So that we can promote our city.
So one of the last questions I've been kind of getting into with each of the guests is talking about how we need to understand this business and understand, going back, it's the 5th largest employer in the state, but going to understand to become better brand ambassadors of our own state and the attributes that we have here to promote. Do you feel that, I mean, you've got a great team, you've got a great staff, you've got great associates that you deal with on these boards and commissions, you work for a great organization that has continually expanded in Rhode Island. Do you feel we can do a better job of getting our own story out there and being our own ambassadors?
I think that, like I said, I heard you say that, continuously plugging the CVB, but the CVB does a really great job with marketing the city of Providence and the city of Warwick. They do spend a lot of time and a lot of their funds on making sure that the word gets out there. Obviously, with digital marketing and e-commerce the way it is now, it's a lot easier to push out ads
Right,
and whatnot.
it's quicker.
But we can always do more. The city continues to grow, but we do need people to continue to come and stay here. We, as I mentioned earlier, it's not only hotels that need to stay relevant. We also need to make sure that the city's a safe place to come and stay and walk around. We definitely have to continue to invest in that.
So we sit on the Providence Tourism Council together, and it's, the creation of the Providence Tourism Council helps create these events. So the PVD Festival that you dealt with, Columbus Day on Federal Hill, several of the music festivals in the city, all these events that are happening, those supportive events are just as important.
Oh, absolutely.
To the vibrancy, the economic impact
Absolutely.
in the city.
Well, if you when you're checking into our hotel and we tell you, hey, listen, there's a water fire tonight, or hey, you're smack dab in the middle of PVD Fest,
Right.
and you're gonna have a great time, and you connect the guests with that, it's gonna be memorable. It's not gonna be something where I just checked in, I went and had dinner, and then I left. It's gonna be something that you and your family took pictures. You went and really soaked in the local culture, which
And at
is
the same
something.
time, they're spending money.
Absolutely.
They're out
Absolutely.
beyond the confines of the hotel, and they're spending dollars going to Waterfire, going to Federal Hill, going to PVD Fest. They're spending money on something while they're here.
Earlier in my career, we did a study just for actually fun. It sounds kind of nerdy, but we did a study, and just gas stations. You're pumping gas. Whether you're buying refreshments on your way out, somebody got a flat tire, unfortunately, and things like that. The economic impact is to every business.
Right.
It's to the entire city. So it's definitely a win-win. It's something well worth investment.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, Socrates comes from a great group, and if you're out there looking and interested in being involved in the hospitality industry, I highly encourage you to check out his group. I highly encourage you to check out the Hilton. Socrates, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate it.
And one thing I did want to say is that I saw that the last two GMs came in with cue cards. I didn't bring any. So I do have a poster just saying hi to my
Max.
kids. So
That is
I just
awesome.
wanted.
Who was sick? I know one of them was sick.
Max was
Max
not
feeling better?
Yeah, he's feeling. He's still a little iffy.
Max, I
but,
hope you feel better, buddy. I feel your pain. I understand. I hope you feel better.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.